Welcome to The Artist Matters. I'm Alex Rudy, and each week you will meet incredible artists from all walks of life. Filmmakers, writers, actors, painters, musicians, and so many more, sharing their stories to motivate and inspire the creative in you. Whether you're doing it for fun or looking to make a living, this show will help you on your journey to bring out the artist within and letting the world know that your art matters. Hey everybody, it's Alex Rudy back with you on the Artist Matters podcast. It's good to be back. I was actually up in New York visiting family and friends and just enjoying time with them and making some new memories. Also had to take care of some family business, and we took care of some things, and it's really good that happened. So we're here in the middle of June-ish, and I'm working on making the Artist Matters website. Right now it's still the Wix site, but I finally got onto Bluehost and hopefully marrying my domain name, which is theartistreallymatters.com, with that, and we'll build a website. I think I'll just have to build it from the ground up because some of the ways you have to transfer stuff are just strange. And I'm only 14 episodes in, so it should be relatively, hopefully, an easy upgrade. Now, full disclosure, I like to have a few interviews in my pocket, so there's a little buffer, but I ran out. Really. This has never happened before. Usually I'm way ahead of the game, and when I came back from New York, I thought I had an interview lined up, but that person had an unexpected thing happen, and I asked another one, and they got their days mixed up, so they weren't available. So I was a little desperate and reached out to artists I knew, and luckily I found today's guest who was available to interview this past week. So I'm very grateful that he was available and made the time for this. And today we have a very talented young man. I have known him for 10 years. Back in 2009, I met him when he joined the Standing Ovation Dinner Theatre. His name is Keith Surplus. He joined us and played the part of Bernie in the show, the Jewish groom. He was always a riot to work with, such fun energy, and carry it over into other shows we did. And I have had to use him when I did my Dog Talkerer parody of the Dog Whisperer, and always enjoy working with him and seeing him perform. I did get to see him in Rock of Ages when he was performed at Stage West here in Florida. And he's even done some independent film and getting into voiceover work. This guy's an all-around talented performer. There's so much more. I just don't want to give it away. You got to listen to this episode. Now, here's the interesting catch. I'm doing something I have never done before. I am breaking his interview into 2 parts. That's right. This week you'll get part 1. Next week you'll get part 2. He had so much to say, and I just wanted to share all of it because he's such a down-to-earth guy and has so many stories to tell, and it's a really good story he's sharing here. So this is what you're going to get. I'm not going to waste too much time talking anymore and get right into it with the first part of this interview with Keith Surplus. We have Keith. Hello, Keith.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the show, my fellow Standing O buddy. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that chapter in your journey. Well, let's begin at the beginning, shall we? This guy was born in Cali?
California, yes. Anaheim, California. I like to say I'm a Disney baby. And we actually did live pretty close to Disney, and my parents, that we could see like the fireworks, from the park, from our house and stuff. So I always thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, Anaheim, California.
But you weren't there long enough, right?
No. I think it was when I was 2, maybe almost 3, when my family had moved to Florida because Florida was so much cheaper even then. But yeah, we just couldn't afford it. My great grandparents were down here as well. My parents had vacation to Florida, in the 70s. Of course, early 80s. And they always liked it, the environment. And again, it was cheap. So, so yeah, I don't remember California at all. But it was cool because for my 18th birthday, we went out there on vacation for about like a week, and we went just everywhere, and we did find the house that we were in when I was born. So that was really cool. But yeah, I definitely like it out there, and who knows, I might end up out there for gigs or end up just like living out there myself, depending, fingers crossed, maybe. Yeah, I still have family. I still have, I have friends out there,
that's good,
in the business. But I have family, my aunt, my uncle, some of my cousins. My one cousin, he's, going to college, for screenplay writing. So him and me talk, we keep in touch, so who knows, we might team up someday. But
it does help to have those connections out there, really.
Yeah,
it makes it a little easier. But you ended up in Florida. Where in Florida did your family locate to?
Holiday, Florida, and we were there up until 2015, because we were there in one house until about 97. And then we had moved to a different house in the same neighborhood. And then we were in that house for quite a while. And then moved to Spring Hill in 2015.
All right, so he is in Florida. And when did this thing called acting come into your life? Was it at an early age?
As far as discovering that acting is a passion, that had come later. I did do little church plays when I was in elementary school, little stuff. It pretty much it was one of those things where all the kids were cast in these little Christmas shows or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I didn't really think anything of it. I just did it. In 5th grade, I was the lead in this half-hour Christmas play, and again at that point it was just fun and games. It wasn't oh, I want to do this, I want to act. In elementary school, I always told myself oh, I want to be an archaeologist and dig up dinosaur bones, or be a baseball player. It was just random stuff that I liked, and told myself that type of stuff. But yeah, basically in elementary school, it was just fun and games. Middle school, I had to take drama as part of this wheel that you had to take, different classes. I think it was 7th grade, and I only had it for, I'm thinking, a month. And at that point, it was so I was liking what we were doing, but at the same time, I just still wasn't completely all for it. Just for the fact that being in that environment, it was kind of hard to discover what I was interested in, just because of the kids in class, and I was more driven on just like getting good grades. Really, I just wanted to just really focus on getting good grades and just being the hardworking student and whatnot. At that point in middle school, though, I did discover that I was more into like visual arts. Like I had art class, I think in 6th and 7th grade, and I remember liking visual arts more so, like drawing and sculpting, and the art teacher was just so awesome. She was one of my favorite teachers. And I would do little drawings and stuff when I was a kid.
What did you draw?
So I oh gosh, maybe like scenes from movies like The Wizard of Oz and, of course, family, stuff like that. So I like doodling and like drawing and stuff. So I think the art class just really helped me, focus kind of on that aspect of it, like visual arts. And at one point I had a drawing in City Hall in Newport Richey.
How did that happen?
Pretty cool. It was pretty much like, I don't even know it. It wasn't really a contest or anything. I think the art teacher was just asked to submit different, pieces of art from various students to be on display. And mine just happened to be one of them because she really liked it. And so I'm like, well, that was pretty cool.
Do you remember the piece?
Yeah. Basically it was just like different objects that was like already in the classroom that I basically just like looked at and just made this big just portrait of just the various classroom like objects and stuff, because she had like little like mannequins and stuff like that. She had little things already set up, so like on this counter. So I just remember just drawing that type of stuff and making it, trying to make it as real as possible. My thing. And again, I don't recall if that was 6th or 7th grade.
You did it in pencil, the whole thing?
Yeah,
All
pencil shading,
nice.
Stuff like that. It was just like, yeah. And I think because she had pieces there that was different mediums. Like there was like painting or different things. And I think mine was just like one of the ones that was, it was just pretty much just pencil and shading and, trying to make the objects look like they're standing out.
But in City Hall, that must have been a really nice moment.
Yeah, that was, again, and it was really random, because again, I just did my best. And again, that type of art was becoming a passion, and I was really enjoying it. And, I looked forward to art class. I really did. So I guess in middle school, it was more the visual arts. And I still do like little drawings and stuff every now and then, but it's not as detailed, not as like serious and stuff. Acting pretty much came in high school. The high school I went to had different sections, and each section of the school had to do with what you might have been interested in. So since I knew that I was into art, of course I signed up to go to the art section. And basically what the school was trying to do was you had like those type of classes. You had the art classes, the drama classes, and then you had your other subjects all in one area so that you're not going all over the school. But I think in 10th grade, it kind of ended up happening where I ended up having 2 classes like on the complete other end of the school, which kind of sucked at the time. But no, I had, so I had signed up for the art building, and because I knew that I wanted to still do like the visual arts stuff. And then it was actually then mandatory to do drama